Hello group, this is Mike Crump. This is my CIT 261 presentation on designing, defining, and triggering CSS3 transitions without custom libraries. So if you're like me, you probably didn't know what a transition was. A transition is basically, it's going to be some content on a web page that's going to change, either when you click on it or you move your mouse over it, a color will change, a menu will pop out. CSS3 transitions and transforms create simple animations and add valuable interaction and visual feedback for your users. So there's a difference between a transition and a transform. While transforms move or change the appearance of an element, a transition will make the element smoothly and gradually um, from one state to another. So without a transition, an element's just going to quickly change. It's going to go from black to white. And uh, using okay, so without a transit, yeah, so just a transform is going to be black to white, but with a transition is going to kind of go black to gray to white. So it's going to be smooth and gradual, more visually appealing. So how do we design a transition? It's going to be a two-part. You're going to have an HTML script and a CSS script. We've got two examples here of an HTML and CSS. So if we wanted to create just two very basic boxes, the way this code is going to work, box one is going to just instantly change as a transform from a light gray to a turquoise. And box two, because it has the transition um, code in here, it's going to gradually change color. So there are two properties that are required in order for the transition to take effect. You have to specify the transition property and the duration. And here's the syntax for how you would do that within a div. So how are we going to define that? So like I said, the syntax within the div, the timing function and the delay are optional, but each transition property can be defined individually, but they recommend for cleaner and faster code to use this shorthand, so using this syntax here. The transition property, the first specification, specifies the CSS property where the transition will be applied. You can apply a transition to an individual property, like just the background or just a transform, or to all properties in the rule set using the all specifier. And the transition duration is how quickly you want it to transition from one form to another, how quickly you want the color, the graphics to go. So you can do it in seconds or milliseconds if you really want to dial it down using the transition duration. So triggering a transition, like I said, usually it's a hover or a mouse over. That's the most common and well known. When you move your mouse over something, it's going to change colors. So here's some quick script on how you would do that just for using a mouse over using pure CSS. It's going to change the link color when you move your mouse over that. You can also use the active pseudo class, and that matches any element that's in the process of being activated. The primary way that an element is activated is by means of a mouse click or mouse down. So with the code here to the right, the box's width and height are animated to become larger as you hold the mouse down. So the longer you hold it, the larger the box gets. And then once you release, the box goes back to its original dimensions. So you can have some fun with this. You can do some pretty neat graphics. I saw some really good examples where you can have a circle button, and as you click on it, it changes to a square, to a star, and it gets bigger and it gets smaller and it changes colors. So you can stack all these different elements in there. And you can make things that are visually entertaining. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of good, use for it, but it does stand out so the user can tell where their mouse is and what they're doing. There are a few other transition triggering methods. You can use the focus pseudo class to animate the width. Like I said, I saw different examples of how you can do this. So if you have your mouse over something, it could kind of breathe in and out. Using the focus, you can use the checked, so you can animate a checkbox and radio button. So when a user clicks on something, you could have it kind of flash in and out or something, so that it would give them a visual confirmation that they have done what they thought they were going to do. Or there's also a disabled method where if you combine CSS transitions with some jQuery to animate the background color of form elements when they become disabled via the disabled attribute. And here's an example of using the jQuery script to do that. And as far as doing all this without custom libraries, this is all built into, it looks like pretty much all of the major browsers. So we don't need custom libraries for this. We can just use what's already hard coded in there. Just remember that to create a transition, you have to specify the CSS property you want to add the effect to and the duration of the effect. If the duration part is not specified, then transition will have no effect because the default value is 0. A couple references, W3 schools, always good. Anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing how we can use this in our new project management application. Um, throw some ideas out there, and we will see you guys again this Saturday. Thanks for watching. Bye.